I want to say, I was super terrified to post my last photo of my Luke Skywalker costume, but you guys loved and I can't say thank you enough for the support. How did Moshe get Luke's lightsaber? I remember she said in quote, "Good question, for another time in quote," and never said anything about it ever again. Somehow, she found it. It hasn't been in quote, another time in quote, yet. Welcome to JJ's Mystery Box in quote, writing in quote. I made a Blender model to prove the field of view of the Millennium Falcon cockpit is correct. To Rick. ASTL raw perspective. The time I did Luke Skywalker for Halloween. Visiting family in Pittsburgh, had to make the pilgrimage. Mon Mothma. Era of the Empire has been bad for Cell. He's been up looking for that last poncho for 4 years now. After you first watched the original trilogy, did you ever expect you would be getting this much backstory on the in quote, many Bothans died in quote, lady? What impresses me is that they cast an actress as Mon Mothma for Revenge of the Sith only for her scenes to be cut. Then they brought her back in the role over a decade later for Rogue One and Andor. Tomorrow is our last Andor Wednesday. How y'all holding up? Starkiller drawn in the style of the Clone Wars microseries. There is so much weight behind this scene now after finishing S1 Andor. Suddenly the rebellion is have been in this fight real for you. Some of us live it since I was 6 years old. You're not the only one, some of us just decided to do who lost everything. Something about it. One reason why Rey deserves another chance as a character and why the sequels should never be retconned. I blame none of the characters and all of the writers. Daisy Ridley is a delightful person who did what she could with what she was given. Tony Gilroy addresses the people that call Andor slow and boring. That's some old shit, man. Everything, all of this shit is new, which is just really fascinating, to be at the frontier of this new kind of storytelling, this new kind of scale. I heard that comment along the way, even when we brought the episodes in, to Lucasfilm and Disney. I don't want to piss this guy off, obviously, but I wonder if he feels the same way now, because do you really think that you will be able to appreciate what happened in episodes 8, 9, and 10 as much without knowing what happened back in episodes 1, 2, and 3? You're absolutely enriched by it. It's like, you go watch a car commercial, and they pull out a flag and a puppy and a truck, and you go, oh wow. The music's right, and you really feel something for a moment, but you walk away and you never think about it again. It's this empty calorie thing. If you really want to feel something, if you really want to have something that lives with you, the requirement for that is that you really care. You need that investment that you made in the early episodes. I don't think I was, like, poking around. It's pretty exciting. I think it's a ripping yarn. It's an adventure story all the way through. But knowing Cassian as that kid who beat the shit out of that console, in a flashback as a child, after they killed his friend, and knowing that rage is in him, is really important. The idea that you have to wrap up every episode in a bow, and the old traditional thing was, oh, your first episode has to be your 7th episode. I've heard all this shit my whole life. But as I said, I'm a disruptor, I'm going this way. There's times where you really want to package things. There's times where there are episodes that have better breaks and better drops than others. But I'm happy with all the ones that we have. I'm not unhappy at all with the time we've spent with all of our characters. The concept of a Death Star is so cool. A battle station so large it's confused for a moon. It's so hard to beat its cool factor. They basically reused the idea twice more already. Can you think of a sci-fi super weapon concept that's at least on par? Halo. What exactly is Vader to the Empire? What does he do and how high is his rank? I don't think he holds an actual rank more, he is an extension of Palpatine himself. Assistant to the Emperor. Hand of the King, minus the hand. He's a Sith Lord. He outranks who he wants and pays respect to who he wants. Given that he gets directly involved when the Death Star 2 was falling behind schedule, I think of him as the Empire's agile coach. Star Wars Jedi. Survivor launches March 16, 2023. Jedi. Survivor. So did the Porgs watch Chewie kill, pluck, butcher, and cook 2 of their fellows? But only when he was about to take a bite did they make sad faces at him? They realized he won't share. The one single thing that bothers me about the movies, games, and ride. Nobody tell this person about the TIE windows. So I'm actually building a 3D model of the Falcon. Sitting in the cockpit you won't see the mandibles looking straight ahead. Almost at all. You have to look out to the left side to actually see them. Even then, as pointed out, the cockpit is elevated over the rest of the Falcon and the side walls come up fairly high, so depending on where you sit they're not actually the easiest to see. Edit. There was a request for images, so here are some renders. My Falcon is super early in the build, but the proportions should all be correct. Link. Edit. Thank you kind strangers for the awards and compliments. May the Force be with you all. Why did Obi-Wan leave Anakin to die a fiery death instead of putting him out of his misery? Couldn't let him live, but he couldn't bring himself to kill him either. Thought the lava would do it for him. Epic callback. Found some behind-the-scenes photos from the Andor rebels in Aldhani.